Good morning, everybody. I hope that y'all have had a great week so far, and I hope y'all are ready for the cold. I don't know that I am, but I hope that y'all are. So today we're going to make cake pops. It's really easy. Everybody can join in, and I hope that y'all enjoy these and y'all make these at home. And my kids loved them when I did the trial run on them, and I had friends that ate some too. So everybody seemed to enjoy the cake pops. So I hope that it's a big hit with y'all too. So let's get started. Okay, so last night after work, I went home and I made a strawberry box cake. Follow the instructions on the box, let it cool, broke it up, put it in the bowl. I have a little jar of strawberry icing. I have a cookie scoop. I've got my mixer over here so you can see my blender. I've got my lollipop sticks. Won't need those right away. I have some red sprinkles. And I have white chocolate that is ready to melt. So this is everything. One thing I did forget is I did forget at home because I am here at the library, Crisco. So it's not going to make it to where I can't melt this. It just may not be as smooth as it can get when you add a little bit of the Crisco to it. But it's all still workable. So without further ado, let's get started. Now with the mixing of the cake and the icing, you're going to want to kind of add a little mix. The consistency that you are looking for is you want them to stick together. If you've ever made Oreo truffles, oh, I'm so sorry. That's kind of the consistency that we're going for here in the cake pops. So when I made my last batch, I used about a half of a container of icing. And so I'm going to start with just a really good scoop here. And like I said, you can use whatever flavor you wanted. It's Valentine's Day. And so I just wanted to do pink cake pops because that's what I wanted to do. And I like strawberry. The ones that I did on my trial run, I did chocolate. So it was a chocolate fudge cake with chocolate icing with semi-sweet chocolate that I dipped them in. I have chocoholic friends, and they said that like it was almost too chocolatey. They were very rich. So we're just going to beat this up. And if you have a stand mixer, you can of course use that. A food processor will also do this job. You can, do it by hand too. A good wooden spoon and bowls and stirring will also do that. So it just all depends on what you have and what you yourself prefer to use. Check the consistency of that. See? What you're looking for is for them to hold together really well. So I think that I've got that with these. So we will not need to add any more icing. So this is kind of, if you are making these for a crowd, you can use one jar of icing and make 2 cakes. And that will cover what you need. Because, as you, that's, I still have a pretty good amount of frosting left. And I know I keep changing icing frosting. I've always been bad about. And I know there's a difference, but. All right, I'm going to go take this to the kitchen real quick. So with it being as cool as it is inside houses right now, outside of houses right now, you may want to form these into balls on a cookie sheet and then stick them inside a refrigerator or a freezer for a time to let them get really good and set. So they're easier to work with. Because with it being warm in the house and warm, they might fall off the sticks, which you will see because I will not take the time to chill these. So that is an awesome step to make if your house is warm and cozy. So I've got some little pieces of foil laid out here, and super simple. You can stop here and just have a scoop, or you can do a little roll and make them more round, whatever it makes you happy with. So I'm going to make a couple more, and then I am going to, magic of TV this and zoom through and get all of these made. So again, if you don't have a cookie scoop, you can use 2 spoons, scoop out your dough and make sure your hands are clean, and just roll them into balls. So there are no really wrong ways to do this. If, like I said in the post yesterday, if you don't have the lollipop sticks, it's not a necessity. It just makes them into lollipops and gives a cool handle. But if you don't have any and you don't want to brave the store right now, especially given our weather, I guess it might help you if I put my hands underneath the camera. You can just leave them just as they are and dip them into chocolate just as they are there, and make a cake ball truffle. And this is the part where the kids will have a lot of fun. I mean, look, we get messy hands, and then when they're all said and done, they'll lick their hands. I at least my kids always did. If Mama says no, though, guys, don't do it. You have to listen to Mama. But that's it. All right, so give me just a little bit, and I will finish these up for us, and then we will get on to the next step. All right, so I've got all of these made into balls. 1 box cake, a half a can of frosting, made 27. I didn't have a good count from when I made them at home because I had my children would come in and they'd snag one. So I didn't know how many I actually made there, but but this made 27. So that's good. I went ahead and put these in this little pan because I am going to stick these in the refrigerator and make these later. We're going to work with those over there. They are soft. Again, because it's warm in here because it's cold outside. My hands were warm. So it helps firm them up a little bit. If you want to do quicker, you stick them in your freezer. If you mix them up ahead of time, like you mix them up in the morning and then you make them in the afternoon, they can just sit in your fridge for a while. That is perfectly fine. I would probably put them in an airtight container if you're putting them in the refrigerator so other flavors don't get mixed in with them. So I will be right back. I'm going to go start melting our chocolate so we can start on our few little sample ones. And you're going to want to just do that slow. So start your microwave at like or you can do it on the stovetop, however which way works best for you. I'll just put it in the microwave for 30 seconds or so and then stir back in until it's melted. And the cool thing with the chocolate is that if you realize that they're too soft to work with, you can always reheat the chocolate. So just put foil over the top of your container or a lid on your pot, and you can come back to it when it's ready. So I'm going to go do that, and I will be right back. All right. So I have my white chocolate, and as you can see, this is pretty thick. This is where the Crisco comes in. It makes it a little thinner, a little bit easier to coat. So when you see me struggle, just know that it's my fault because I forgot the Crisco at home. So you're just gonna dip your lollipop stick, if you are using those, into the chocolate, and then you are going to poke those into the cake pop. So I'm going to show you how to dip them with the cake pop, and then how to just make truffles out of them. So at this point, if you wanted to do this stage and then refrigerate them, that would be great, especially if you're going to stick them in the freezer, because that could make them harder to get the lollipop stick in. And you're going to want to make sure that they're, all the way through. You don't want them just kind of halfway in there, for the stability of it. So I'm going to let those sit for just a second. And I have a fork. It's a very handy tool. I'm going to set this lovely little ball of cake on that fork. And because my chocolate is so thick and my cake pop's a little soft because it's nice and warm in the library. Like I said, y'all will have an easier time with this at home because y'all will have, I just forgot, you're used to cooking it at your house and you just don't think about all of the things. I walked around my kitchen for a good, I don't know how long, going, did I forget anything? I'm like, no, I've got everything. And I did not. So we can just coat those this way. If after they've been frozen, and I've never used like the white chocolate melts, so I don't know how those do, but I would think that they melt easier than this is just a bag of white chocolate chips that I got from the store. And so if you have to touch it, you can kind of swirl, make it. And then I've got some sprinkles. Because it's Valentine's Day, we got red sprinkles. And there we go. That wasn't very pretty, but you get the gist. So even though this has a stick, the ones that I did at home when I made, because I had chilled them, I just used the stick, I held it and dipped it and went. So again, that's important. But with this, because of what I'm working with here, I'm just going to do this pour method. And that is that. And you just kind of smooth it around. And make sure all sides have a coating on them. I feel like I'm going to lose my cake pop. It could happen, guys. Try to shake off some of this excess. I'm never going to live this down. But in my defense, I bake more than I make candy. And so, just kind of slide that off the fork there. Make a mess. But that's it. That is it, guys. That is as complicated as this process is, you can get some sprinkles. You can put some in a plate and let your kids, you know, pinch and sprinkle. That comes out a little bit nicer than just shaking them over. But if you like a lot of sprinkles, it works just fine. So no, we hope that you have a very, very happy Valentine's Day this weekend. Y'all stay warm and cozy because it is supposed to be cold. And I will send you a picture once I get all of these done. I'll put a picture underneath this video so y'all can see them all finished. Y'all have a great, great rest of your week. And I'll see you tomorrow with our Valentine craft video.